Okay, and now let's welcome up to the mic, Mody. Yeah. All right.
Hi everyone. I stopped being a resident of San Francisco on the 3rd of this month, and it's really nice to be back in the city to read at the bookstore. So thank you to the Fabulist, and I'm delighted to be reading with all the readers. I'm going to begin with this poem, Sometimes Skin, which was published in the Fabulist, and which is actually coming out in my collection Wild Fin, early next year from the San Francisco-based press, Weavers Press. Sometimes Skin. I need to do a little adjustment. Sometimes skin, we think, stops world, encumbers wind within, alertness. We are small, we think. Listening risks too much. Mind wants to possess every twirl of leaf in air, border condition tense. Must keep out tremendous mystery, protect ourselves, redact body, guard its banks. Fear is old, practically a fossil. Ghosts have lived in a mouth as long as history. Ice congeals eyelids. She flakes at banks we try to cross. Immortality, not wisdom. Thick with forms, world. Dignity trapped in man-made dirigible of colonial shame. Worldviews that sliver off beingness, savage, civilized, subdued from speaking of those others. I keep them secret even from myself. Make it linear, we'd learned. World of straight angles, between angles fall. I tried to tame what I was in contact with. It gushed back in my face. Skin has a million tongues. Thirst points to divine capacity, ours to mingle out of porous self, brushing my palm on tree moss. I sense myself as Noah, entangled, flash in body, moving across, no longer compressed, space swept with breath and void. What slips between lights its mist, Rubicons darken, flit with sharp logging. Faces in trees nod. This, me, human, wakens to not much else, just my rightful place in world. Fear will not keep us small and folded. We who are mysterium tremendum. I'm going to read maybe a couple poems from my new collection, Bright Parallel, which came out in June this year, and there are copies in the back. I wanted to read a poem about an element, water, right? Like when you talk about shape-shifting, water is the element of change that allows transformation, makes transformation possible. We who sense the waters, lush-like, listen and leaping, liminal and loping, slipping on stones, smoothening separation, solace curls on river, sleeps, pebbles slip against sand, skirmish, rough-hewn affords surface to sibilant, sated with surf, riding waves, mapped into trickles, into streams, storing our bodies into molecules, celebrating life, giving memory, healing what has caused grief. Old wounds slip, smitten moons, into water, half moons. Waters devour wounds. Clear skin on skin, in skin, instant, intimately slipping release, so much occurs like still instilled in movement. Ocean lips smile, her body submersing syllables. So, ro, do. Nature swells, eats flowers of intractability everywhere. Renews like rain, we who sense the waters. And finally, I wanted to read a poem about transfiguration and becoming. Lived as rhythm. Deep song thrumming in chest. Vibration created by our time together, mellowing hearts of spirits we called in, something toying in ice that reigns inside rooms we live in, ancestors giving us their mouths so we can feed them morsels of grief from our breasts and blood, sadness dropping from eyes. It all happened. Ground moved. Leaves and mulch between our toes started to live in lines on our feet. Raccoon made a home in tree hole, 2 hummingbirds sleeping on his chest. Patterns of energy shifted and a whole new way of looking looked upon us. Song spread into roots of old bark, becoming its fingers, its sap. Sap washed our cheeks, our breasts, and we gave ourselves to earth. We flowed into earth and lived as rhythm that startles people. We opened up a world, and world with its new seas and continents emerging from earth, rippled with aliveness. We welcomed its pulse. Animals stopped. Trees grew their ears long. Spiders arrived to incubate the new world. Our fingers filled with light, our foreheads met earth, our fibula dug into mulch, into leaves, and thus buried, we rested. Space was light, and our hearts were brown and wild as earth. When we looked up, there were crowns of trees. There was sky. Thank you.
Dr. Monica Mody.